my favorite segment, guys. Tips for listeners. For those who are watching, you know I say this every time, but this is something that's really important to us. We hope that this podcast gives back, and that we want people who listen to hear what 22 years of experience in the form of Push and just ultimate prodigy and Max. Like, what are your tips for listeners? And Toby, we'll have you go first this time.
I mean, I would just say you got to watch the floor, and you have to understand when you're clearing the floor, when you're not playing something that's working, you need to change your program. You need to be able to change your program. Don't just stick. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. My earpods, they're going to die here in a minute. You have to be able to change gears. You have to be able to understand what's going on the floor, as opposed to just sticking to one program, even though that program worked really, really, really well. If it's not working on the floor, you have to understand, make changes, and move forward.
I'm gonna play the devil's advocate with you, because I agree with you. But
Yeah.
I think there's some DJs that say maybe they're more artists where this is who I am, this is the set I've created, and the crowd's either gonna like it or hate it. Do you think there's room for that type of DJ in the scene, or do you think that literally every DJ should be able to switch it up if what they're doing is not working?
I think they should switch it up if it's not working. And it also depends on time slot. Like, if you're going to tear ass at 9 o'clock, that's not going to work. That's not going to work on the building blocks, because the way it works is the first person builds and then the second person builds. Someone walks into the club, they take their coat off, they want to get a drink. They're not ready to tear ass out right now. Like, you can get up to there. But I really think that everybody should be able to read a floor. However, there's a lot of people that they like what they're playing, and they want to do that. And there's a lot of artists, like big time artists, they'll play whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And they just will. And they'll be successful at it because they're playing what people want to hear. But they're also the reason why people are there. Okay. And it's why they're playing.
I would agree with you that people need to be able to change it up, but to what kind of change up is also the question. I wouldn't book Max to play a hip hop show. You know what I mean? So like,
that's a promoter issue.
If I put him in a situation, that's what I'm saying. So if I put him in a bad situation, that's going to be a bad look for him. That's not on him. And then,
no, I mean, you can't expect an electronic DJ to automatically be like, oh shit, everyone here wants to hear hip hop. I mean, that's extreme. Like, right. You have your lane. Like, if you book me, you're going to get a version of house, not, I don't know which kind, or hip hop. Like, I do play hip hop, but like, I'm sorry. But yeah, I wouldn't expect anybody to change, like, oh, let's go completely to the left. That's a promoter issue, because if a promoter should put a DJ in the right spot. They should build a show correctly.
100%.
Cool. Max, what you got for us?
I would say, so you look at, you're buying songs on Beatport and you look at like the top 10 songs. Personally, I try to avoid those top 10 songs, because that means there's going to be multiple DJs or in your city playing those songs, most likely. So I try to get like the songs that are on Spotify that are like 10,000 plays or less, kind of a thing. But are still, I mean, it's still quality. I'm not saying like I'm playing bad music. I'm just saying
you're digging.
Your set could get boring if you're just playing Chris Lake, Fisher, and people will notice that for sure, especially if you've been in the scene for a while.
Or if you're opening for an artist, you don't want to play the top. You definitely don't want to play the top 10.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why, like, I actually have been avoiding Anjuna and This Never Happened, those two labels, because I've noticed that those are the two labels that in my genre, like most DJs have been playing. And you want to sound different. You don't want to sound like just another guy. You want to create your own like persona that like what people will remember you for.
I like it.
Cool. Well, before we get into Warzone time, why don't you guys tell the audience where they can find you both online and in person?
Oh yeah,
Go ahead, Max.
Instagram, Spotify, Facebook are my main things right now. I don't have a Twitter. I probably should get one.
Yes.
You don't have to tweet, just read people's dumb tweets. That's what we do.
Yeah. Oh no, like I started Twitter like way back in high school, and I just didn't like the content, and I just couldn't get into it. But like now, I probably should, for sure.
Absolutely. And a MailChimp. MailChimp is huge, bro. If you don't have one, I'm gonna get on. Ask Entel how long it took me to get him on MailChimp, especially for producers, because
Who's that?
MailChimp, it's a mail service. So I think a functioning human being probably checks their email at least once a week, right? And Music by BOCKOVEN's newest song released, or maybe it's the releases for the month, are going to be on there. I feel like with Instagram, you're relying on the algorithm to show me the stuff. If someone's only on Instagram, even if they follow you, but it's only been for an hour, maybe stuff by Lane 8, stuff by Tale of Us comes up first, and by that time I'm done with Instagram. So I don't see that Max released a new album. If you get them on your MailChimp, that's one way to guarantee that they see it. They may not click on it, but at least when they see you, they can't say, "Oh, I didn't know you released a track," or that when they see you and you say, "Oh, I released a track. Oh yeah, I got your email." So it's just one more way to get attention on your stuff. And it's a guaranteed way for people that people look at it. So
yeah, that's will solve so many problems, because I send so many demos to artists, and then I just see like no plays or anything, no replies. So they're not even like looking at the track. So I don't even know.
Which what I would tell you is, if they're not looking at it, it means they haven't listened to it. So don't take it personal, because they're getting so many demos. So it's like,
right.
This is more so people can support you more easily. Like I want to see your music, but I may not like. I know you probably don't post as much on Instagram as other people who I follow, so I may miss it. And I want to put your releases on the podcast, which we're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, I would say talk to Entel, because I literally was yelling at him for 3 years to do it. And now I see every time he puts out a track, and that's really helpful for me to support him and then also to put him on the podcast. But I want to move over to Push. Where can we find you on the internet and in person?
I would say, you can find Push Productions on Facebook, Run 614 on Facebook. Run 614 is not just me, so I don't want to say that. That is most assuredly a few of us. Toby the One on Instagram. Also, Toby the One on Twitter is where you can find me. In person, if the forum ever opens back up, you'll see me there. You'll see a rotating group of us for sure. Probably going to do a live broadcast at some point, because it's been a minute since I have. Think I'll probably do a vinyl old school one. I did one, but I didn't have good sound, but I'll do another. It had really good following, except people said it didn't sound good because I wasn't connected in. So that's where you can find me.
Cool.
That's one thing that's one thing about quarantine that I love, is live streaming, actually, because you can just basically set up a time where you can play a set at any point. No one's gonna tell you no.
From the comfort of your own home, even.
Right, exactly.
Yep. As I just mentioned, for the 614 releases this week, I know Body Buzz was released. The Body Buzz EP was released by Governor. So big shout out to Govan. He's been releasing stuff, I think, every Friday. And that's all I saw on Instagram. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, hey, I released something, get on MailChimp, send me your MailChimp, and I will subscribe, and then I will promise to put this on the podcast. Corrupt and I do our best to find out who's releasing what, but as you guys know, the algorithm can be a bitch, let's just be honest. So, Corrupt, do you know anyone else who released anything this week?
No, I was just going to say, you know, shout out to Govan putting out these tracks, but also Max, that's another reason you got to get Twitter so you can read Govan's tweets on everything.
Oh my God.
They're fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh my God.
You were getting 100% Govan 100% of the time.
Oh yeah.
And then if you are watching this on YouTube, please like the video, especially if you found something helpful, or you like Toby, you like Max, you want to let us know, hey, have these guys on again. Let us know in the comments, and then do subscribe for more podcasts, more gear reviews, more discussions, and tutorials every Wednesday. Corrupt, take us out.
Episode 20, guys. Thanks so much. Max, I'm proud of you. You're kicking ass. We will get you back in there eventually, man, for some shows. Toby, we've thrown some killer parties. I really hope Oz 10's kind of hinting that we'll try to get another Kool-Aid party someday. But you definitely don't retire because we need you. So
yeah, man. That made me sad for a minute. So I'm glad you went the opposite direction for sure.
Thank you guys for joining us, man. We love doing this.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course, guys.
Thanks for everybody who tuned in.
Stay safe.